Good morning, dear ones. It's Lisa A. Romano, the Breakthrough Life Coach, and today I want to talk about something that's very, very serious, and that is what happens to us as mommies and daddies when we begin to wake up from this spell, this dis-ease of codependency. And I just want to also take a moment to express how serious the dis-ease of codependency is, and how far-reaching and how soul-murdering codependency is. You know, people throw this term out there like it's, oh well, you know, she's codependent, or oh well, he's codependent. It's nothing to be flippant about, because if someone is truly codependent, that means that they are not living their life. They are living some false reality. They are living some false perception of themselves. They're not living from the soul space. If someone's codependent, that means somewhere in their childhood programming, someone taught them that they weren't enough. There's shame there. There's guilt there. And when you are truly suffering from codependency, you are afraid to be you. And deeper, you don't know who you are. Now, that can be very woo-woo. I know it was woo-woo for me. And by the way, it's like 4:30 in the morning, so that's what this is about. But I'm so inspired to do this video because I got a couple of emails from mommies this morning, and I have to address those of you that are mommies and that are struggling with this. I have to address it because the goal is to increase the vibrations of other people on this planet so that we can collectively make a difference. And even if we don't see the difference immediately, collectively, as you and I raise our vibration, those of you from Belgium, those of you from Kuwait, those of you from Australia, those of you from the UK, I mean all over the UK, or I mean Sweden, Denmark, Belgium, all of you, thank you for your emails. Texas, California, New York, I mean, hey, it's all over. This awakening's happening all over, which is awesome. But it's so important that we understand that below the I don't know who I am is the I am. Your true nature is the I am, meaning your true nature is the God self. You are an extension of Creator. You live, you breathe, therefore you are an extension of Creator, and that is enough. The social ideas that we've been inundated and programmed with, which are oppressive, the family systems, the educational systems, the religious systems, the societal systems, the advertising agencies, the media, the music, all of these facets of our so-called reality impact the way a soul, or actually a psyche, sees itself. The soul is perfect. Outside the psyche and the psychology of the human being, which is a product of its environment, childhood programming, outside the soul, outside of this psyche that's been microchipped with all this BS, you're perfect. And your soul knows that. What we have to do is we have to correct what's happened in our subconscious mind so that we can heal the shame and heal the guilt, auto-correct it in the brain, and that's what I do. And by the way, I'm creating a coaching program. For those of you who are not able to get on my coaching calendar, I'm creating a coaching program that will actually be able to pull you through the veil. So 12 weeks of support, which is really, really cool. I'm also going to be sending out a survey, so please get on my newsletter. I'm going to be asking you guys some questions that'll help me make sure that I hit those points in this coaching program. So I'm really, really excited about that. So addressing what we need to address as mommies and daddies that are waking up and coming through the veil. Okay. When I began to do my work, I had to understand where this codependency and this shame and this guilt that was associated with me expressing myself and being who I am came from. And it came from when I was a really little kid, because I was born to a 19-year-old woman who was the adult child of two alcoholics, who married my father, who was the adult child of an alcoholic, whose mother committed suicide. It was a mess. And here, I come along when these two kids have me, 19 and 20, or whatever it was, babies. back in 1965, when the world was a very tumultuous place. It was changing like crazy. And I'm born to these two young people. Now, my mother was very below the veil of consciousness, and she's still below the veil of consciousness. But at that point, she had me thinking that her life was going to improve because she had this child that was going to validate her, that was going to love her, that was going to make her feel like she was enough. So I came into this life experience with a job description. And that's not fair. Because children, newborns, are helpless. They are helpless. They need their mothers and fathers to take care of them. They are powerless. They are innocent. They need to be touched lovingly. And we have research proves that children that are void of tactile stimulation don't thrive. And they actually die. So without this contact from loving parents, especially mother and father, but especially mother, without that connection, that infinity loop of love that this child has had in utero, when this child is born, that umbilical cord is cut, it has to be replaced with an invisible infinity bond. And when it is not, this child feels that disconnect. It's awful. And throughout a child's life, especially up until the child is 12, and if a parent has done a really good job, by the time a child is 12, he or she has a really good understanding of who he or she is. And so if they go out into high school or middle school and kids aren't being nice to them, they don't take it personally. They're like, there's something wrong with him for not liking me. I'm cool. I like myself. That's what by the time you're 12, that should be your disposition. By the time you're 12, you should understand that there are some people who are mean in this world because of their experiences, but you don't have to tolerate them. That's the goal. So by the time a child is 12, if they've had healthy parenting, then the child is able to deal with the stressors of school and comes home and says, Mom, Charlie's not being nice to me. Like, Charlie's going out of his way to irritate me. And the mother comes back with, how does that make you feel? What would you like to do about it? What are our options? How can you avoid him? How can we make this situation better? Obviously Charlie has a problem because you're a great kid, and he's really missing out on a great friendship with you. That's what we have to teach our children. But the problem is that if Charlie hasn't been modeled good parental behavior, if Charlie's father has made him feel like he's not enough, if Charlie's mother has made him feel responsible for her happiness or her loneliness or her depression or whatever, if Charlie has been rejected by mother for just having a bad day, for not wanting to finish his Cheerios, for spilling milk on the floor, for not cleaning up after himself, for having a messy room, for failing a test, for not combing his hair, for forgetting to brush his teeth, for not picking his socks up off the floor. I mean, this is all very, this is a lot of stuff for a little kid, to remember. And remember, children are all emotional. Their limbic systems are firing. So there's a lot of epinephrine, a lot of cortisol. The most important thing for a child is feel connected to mother and father. And when that connection is threatened, it is like a dinosaur is attacking, or their foot is stuck on the train track. There is fear, and then they literally can't think. They can't remember to pick up the socks. They can't remember to brush their teeth. They can't remember to comb their hair. They can't. And so it's so important that we keep our emotions in check as mothers and fathers. It's so important that we become beacons in our home, grounded in who we are, confident in what we're doing, confident in our purpose. And our purpose is to break these cycles of dysfunction so that our children don't have to walk around like wet noodles. Like, who am I? What am I doing? Who likes me? Who doesn't? What do I have to do to figure it out? Blah, 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 blah. And our little daughters aren't 11 years old and giving boys blowjobs in the school bathroom because they want to be liked by the boy. And don't think this doesn't happen, dear one, because it does. It does. And we don't want our sons to go out and join gangs, and beat people up because they want the crew to think they're cool. We don't want that. But guess what? If our children don't feel loved, then they are going to seek that tribe, that belonging sense of that tribal need to feel like they belong to a tribe, that instinctual need to feel like they belong to a tribe outside our home. Outside our home. And that's just reality, dear ones. That's just reality. So when we save ourselves, we save our children, and we save our communities, and we save other people, and we save the world collectively. Collectively. So it's worth it. Your life has a purpose. So mommies, and I just got a wonderful, wonderful, honest, authentic email from a woman who asked me to talk to her about, give her advice about how she can deal with pushing her, like feeling frustrated and resentful that her 3-year-old isn't giving her validation. And I have to say, namaste, mommy, because that is extremely brave to admit that. Most parents would never admit that. I saw that I did that, and when I realized that, oh my God, like my son would not do good on a test, and I would say, what's wrong with you? What is the teacher going to think about me as a mother if you keep failing this test? Think about that, dear one. Lisa Romano was way below the veil of consciousness at that point in her life. And I still have to work at forgiving myself for using that language, because that language was all about me. Worrying about my codependency, worrying about what the freaking teacher was going to think about me, totally took my kid out of that equation. How do you feel? What do you need? What kind of student do you want to be? Because this is ultimately going to affect your life experience. Do you want to be a student who fails? If you don't, what can I do to help you be the kind of student you want to be? That's the language we use with our children. Well, how do you want to feel? And not condescending. Well, what kind of student do you want to be? What do you want to do? How do you feel? None of that, mommies and daddies. It has to be son, daughter. How do you want to feel in school when you get a test? Authenticity, dear ones. How do you want to feel when the teacher hands you that test? Do you want to feel good about yourself? Because that's possible. Because as long as your brain knows that you tried, you have something to be proud of. So it's not about the test. It's not about the score. And by the way, the way we especially in the United States, the way we test our children is ridiculous. Oh my God, it's stupid that we have educators and PhDs in our world who are supposed to understand child psychology and who are supposed to understand that a child learns very much according to what's going on in their brain. So if a child is coming to school from a home whose father is an alcoholic, whose mother's on antidepressants, whose mother has codependency, whose father has codependency, there's domestic abuse, one of the siblings are on drugs, or grandma's an alcoholic, or blah, 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 blah. This kid is in a state of survival. And then we, the smart people in America, think these kids, or wherever, worldwide, think these babies are supposed to all file into this institution and take a test and score high. But we're not taking into accountability what these babies are going through at home. It's stupid. It's absolute ignorance. It infuriates me. It infuriates me. And absolutely, can you tell I'm infuriated? Really, oh my God. It's so stupid. But anyway, I digress like I tend to do. I'm a passionate woman. I love children, and I love people who are willing to take up the sword of breaking this codependency crap. Because on the surface, it looks like we're just healing codependency. No, it's much deeper than that. Codependency, healing from codependency, is the way we get to heal the world. And that is, I'm serious. It's that serious. It is seeded into our society in innocuous ways, very sneaky ways, that you're not enough. And when you don't feel like you're enough, you buy certain hair products, you buy certain beauty products, you buy certain sneakers, you take certain diet pills so you can look like this one, look like that one. Men are manipulated to think that this is beautiful and that's not beautiful. And then you know what happens? We have affairs, and then we drink, and then we spend money on alcohol, and then we we get into trouble with the law, and we fuel the court systems, and then we get divorced, and then we fuel the court systems. And then we go on medication, and we fuel the stock market with our antidepressants. So if you don't think that codependency is some weird covert operation, well, just expand your idea about how far and how deep codependency, the issue of codependency, can go. Just play with that for a little bit. But for those mommies and daddies out there who are struggling to come through the veil and who are understanding there have been times that, or they are at the present time, becoming aware that they are unaware that they expect their children to validate them. This video is for you. It's very, very important that we acknowledge that our children are supposed to come into this life experience without a job description. It is our job as their mother and their father to encourage them to be who they are innately born to be. That means when our 2-year-old is ornery, we love them anyway. That means when our 3-year-old pushes us away, I don't like you, mommy, we say, it's okay, I love you anyway. You don't have to mush mommy up right now. It's okay. Mommy's going to go read a book. I know mommy's good. Mommy loves herself. Even if you don't feel like loving me right now, that's really not the best thing to say, and I'm glad I slipped. Even if you don't feel like being affectionate right now, that's okay. You have a right to own how you feel. And if you don't feel like being affectionate, that's okay. You come to mommy when you need a hug, and mommy will be here waiting for you. Okay, sweetheart? Kid, go. The kid is flipping out a little bit. If you flip out, that's it. You lost it. You have to be a grounding wire for your home, especially when the kids are going crazy, especially. So it's so important that we as adults understand that children are highly limbic. They are not cerebral. So that means they are emotional. They are not in control of their emotions. They are completely emotional. So, and now understand the fight or flight response. A mother's love and a father's love is as important as air to a baby or a child. Important as air. And I mean, I coach people in their 60s and 70s who are still in pain because they never got their mother and father's validation. So never, ever, 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 ever mistake how important you are to your child's life. Even if they're in their 50s, you are important to these children. Now, all human beings, all children need to feel like they're in control of everybody. Everybody needs to feel like they're somewhat in control. And so up until a kid's about 12 years old, they're going to play with being able to push you back. That's normal, and that should be encouraged. Because when our daughters, our babies, go to school and they bump into a boy who senses that, whatever, that he wants to have sex with her or he wants whatever he wants from her, if we've done the right job as a mother and a father, and fathers, how you treat your wives is teaching your daughter how to expect a boy to treat her. So if you think putting your wife down in front of your baby girl and in front of your boys is doing any good in your home, you are very short-sighted, my friend. Because inside the home, in the moment, you might be thinking, kudos to me. I was able to put my wife down. The kids think she's retarded, or the kids think she's stupid, or the kids think she's, ignorant, and now I won. I'm telling you right now, you will reap what you sow. Because that little girl, the girls in that family are being programmed to think that men are superior. They're being programmed to think that they should be afraid of men and that they should follow and do whatever the man says. So now, fast forward, we have your 13-year-old little girl who is with the boy who's intimidating her, asking her for a blowjob, and she's got all this psychological programming about male energy, and she might succumb. There are plenty of young women that I coach that have been boy crazy, and I was one of them, thinking that I had to give in to what my boyfriend wanted me to do. And that all came from not feeling enough from my father, not being validated, not watching my mother and father, how my mother would give in. So daddies out there, treat your wives well. Okay, and women out there, mommies out there, treat your husbands well. If you're going to save your marriage and you're working on this together, it is crucial that the two of you have a united front, because you want to mirror respect in a relationship so that your children, your daughters, and your sons know that the person that they're with must respect them. So if you guys aren't respecting each other, expect that that is being programmed into your child's data bank for a relationship. And part of their future relationships will include disrespect, thanks to you. Now, I'm not saying you've done it consciously, but we all reap what we sow, whether we're conscious or we're unconscious. This universe is indifferent. It's only paying attention to your vibration. So, and that's why I'm so grateful that YouTube is here, the internet is here, that I have the ability to publish books, write articles, send out newsletters, because here is an opportunity for you to wake up. That's right. That's right. You can wake up, and we can break this codependent spell, which really does feel like some covert operation to keep humans stupid and, continuing to wreak havoc in their lives unnecessarily. So mommies and daddies out there, my advice to you is to, when you look at your children, first of all, you have to get strong. You have to work on yourself. You have to know who you are, what you are, and that in spite of anything that's happened to you, you are worthy. And that in this moment in time, you have an ability to change your children's lives forever. Every single moment you are solid, and you say to yourself, like I did when I was coming through the veil, I had to say out loud, I know who I am. 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 Especially when the kids are going crazy. Because I understood that I had to find that space that I could connect to the idea that below my childhood programming, I was enough. That I was an extension of source. Call it God. I don't care what you call it. I don't care. But whatever created you created me. Whatever created the fish created me and you. Whatever created the stars created you, created me, created your children. Created your children. Remember, your children are innocent, and that your job is to help them feel okay with whatever they are experiencing. And so, they don't brush their teeth. We don't guilt them. Oh, look at you. You didn't brush your teeth. You're disgusting. What are people going to think about you? There you go. There's the codependent programming. A better way, a non-codependent way to approach the kid not brushing his teeth is, how do your teeth feel? Get the kid out of his lizard brain into the part of his brain where he can ask himself, wait a minute, how do I feel? How do my teeth feel? You want the child checking in with self. How do your teeth feel, babe? I don't know. They feel okay. All right. Well, I just know that when I brush my teeth, I feel better, and I want you to feel good about yourself. So, just know that if you want your teeth to feel better, it's not a bad idea to brush your teeth, every morning. But I know you're smart enough. You can figure that out. That kid has been taught to ask himself, how do my teeth feel? Also, dear ones, it's normal. My son, I used to have to beg him to take a shower. And then when I let go and I said, okay, I'm not telling him to take a shower anymore, the kid started taking a shower. When he was about 16 and he started to get really interested in girls, trust me, he started taking a shower. I only wish that I didn't make it such a big deal up until that point. I didn't realize that natural rebellion was very healthy, and that when a mother tells her son to take a shower, it's like she's pulling his power away. It's my body. I'll take a shower when I want to. But I didn't realize that. It's all about learning, dear ones. All about learning. Let your children express themselves, but within reason. Obviously, they can't bite. We don't bite in this house. We don't say they're bad. We say that, when we get frustrated, the best thing to do is maybe go in our room and write about it, or stamp your feet, or hit your pillow, or come to me and talk to me about how you feel. Your goal, mommies and daddies, is to help your children verbalize how they feel. So I really hope that I have made some good points here for you. And remember, dear one, there's a lot of information in these videos, and sometimes you have to watch them over and over and over and over until you break the old program. Together, we can make a difference in this world. So thank you to all of you. Please consider checking out my website at www.lisaaromano.com. You can download my workshops and my workbooks there. They're not available online, not yet anyway. I'm not sure I'm going to make them available online. My next book it should be due out within the next few months. It's called Codependent, Now What? It's Not You, It's Your Programming. And it's going to have strategy steps that we can use to help break this codependency code. And please look forward to my upcoming online coaching program, which is really going to be amazing. And I look forward to helping all of you vibrate at a higher level. And it is my goal to help all of you bring love, true love, healing love into your families so that we can collectively shift this world. We're worth it, dear ones. Bye.